Coming up live at 7, Pope Francis passed away at age 88 on Easter Monday. Details on his passing and the road to a new pontiff.
Plus, Siena College President Chuck Seifert announced the death of a Siena student last Thursday, what the college is doing to honor his memory.
Plus, 2 are dead and 6 are injured after a shooting at Florida State University. What we know about the alleged gunman.
And across New York State, protests erupt against President Donald Trump. What local congressmen are saying about the protests.
And it has been 5 years since the pandemic. See how the Siena College Research Institute captured New Yorkers' feelings on the shutdown.
And the Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences announced its plans to merge with Russell Sage College after 13 years of poor enrollment. SCTV Live at 7 begins right now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Sarah Hamilton.
And I'm Ashlyn Hunter. Right now, the world is mourning the death of Pope Francis. The Holy Father passed just hours after celebrating Easter services at St. Peter's Basilica.
Cardinal Kevin Farrell broke the news just past 1:30 on Monday morning. He stated with deep sorrow that the Pope suffered a stroke and heart failure at the age of 88. He passed away at his residence at Casa Santa Marta, where he had lived since his 2013 election. The voice of the poor was able to touch people around the world.
We were able to meet Pope, and while shaking hands, when I touched Pope Francis, my whole body, there was a kind of a vibration. I really felt that the power of the Holy Spirit in Pope Francis.
The Pope's passing was also affected by other ailments he was suffering from, such as previous respiratory failure, arterial hypertension, and type 2 diabetes. He was discharged from the hospital just last month after battling double pneumonia for 5 weeks. According to Vatican officials, the funeral mass for the Pope will take place early Saturday morning. Preparations for the election of a new Pope by the College of Cardinals will begin after a dedicated period of mourning. Flags will fly at half-staff here at Siena College and across the nation in honor of the late Pope.
This past Friday, Siena College President Chuck Seifert announced a loss in our community.
Sophomore Evan Esposito passed away unexpectedly in his home last Thursday in Hackettstown, New Jersey. Siena College held a prayer service last Friday at 8 p.m. and yesterday at 7 p.m. in the grotto to honor Evan. Funeral visitation hours will be held Friday, April 25th from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Cochran Funeral Home in Hackettstown, New Jersey. And the funeral mass will be held Saturday, April 26th at 11 in the morning at St. Mary's Roman Catholic Church in Hackettstown, New Jersey. Our thoughts and prayers go to Evan's friends, family, and loved ones. Students are returning to Florida State classrooms just a week after a gunman opened fire on the university's campus in Tallahassee.
The accused gunman was identified as 20-year-old student Phoenix Inker. Tallahassee police believe that Inker arrived on campus around 11 in the morning at a campus parking garage. He moved in and out of his car until just before noon, where he opened fire. Police shot and captured Inker, but he is expected to survive. The gunman took the lives of 2 people and injured 6 more. The incident has left students feeling unsafe and vulnerable.
Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to go to class on Monday. I don't feel safe right now being on campus. I don't know how we're going to do it, but there's a reason that Florida State is unconquered. We're stronger together. We will always move forward, whatever that looks like.
The gunman is currently in the hospital with injuries he sustained. Once he is released, he will be sent to a detention center where he faces charges, including first-degree murder. The charges are pending further investigation. Protests opposing President Trump's policies continued throughout New York.
Take a look at this video from protests in New York City this past weekend. On the 250th anniversary of the shot heard around the world, a combined group of over 2,500 gathered across New York State to protest the Trump administration. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer drew a large crowd in New York City to protest the president's actions.
Public sentiment is everything. We are creating a mass movement, and there'll be more people participating than you've ever seen united in beating back Trump. When public sentiment wins, we win. Thank you.
Anti-Trump protests have been occurring throughout the country in response to the Trump administration's immigration policies.
With finals just around the corner, students may feel inclined to double down on their coffee consumption.
SCTV's Ashley Davis talks coffee during finals.
Finals is less than 2 weeks away, which means the time to grind out the rest of the semester is here. Students might be turning to different ways they can stay up and stay focused. What are they likely to turn to? Coffee, maybe an energy drink, or some soda. The Saints have found caffeine as their way to keep the long day going. I'm here at Casey's, home to Siena's version of Starbucks and one of the many places students can get their hands on a cup of coffee. But just how many students are coming here to get caffeine?
Good morning. I'll take a 5-hour energy at night when I really gotta lock in.
I drink 3 a day. 3 Celsius a day.
These drinks can have their benefits, but it can also have its negative effects, which includes increased anxiety and irritability. Long-term effects are possible as well.
The caffeine and have those withdrawals happen where that might, if you stop taking the caffeine, then you might end up with headaches or, again, irritability, mood changes, depression, fatigue as well.
Caffeine doesn't have to be the only thing helping you get through the workload. There are many alternatives that will help both your mind and your body.
Well-balanced meal and snacks every couple of hours throughout the day to have more of that steady energy. Carbs are going to be your main source of energy for your brain, so having those carbs to fuel your brain, pairing it with protein and healthy fats can give you steady energy. Hydration can keep you focused and help your concentration.
As we make it to this semester's finish line, we can keep in mind the way we treat our bodies now will determine our health in the long run. Reporting for SCTV, I'm Ashley Davis. Sarah and Ashlyn, back to you.
Thanks, Ashley. The French Club hosted their annual Global Cuisine Fair today, featuring foods from around the world.
All students were invited to join and were able to enjoy a variety of warm meals before finals week begins. Students had the opportunity to meet with the e-board for the upcoming year.
And it's just a great way to showcase the different cuisines of different French-speaking nations. And we welcome French speakers as well as non-French speakers to just gather, get to know each other, have a conversation, meet some new people from all across campus, and enjoy the great food.
The event took place in the St. Bernardine room in the SSU, and students were given specialty items to take before finals week. Last night in Foy Hall, Stage 3 and Colleges Against Cancer teamed up to put on Newscast.
This unconventional open mic night allowed students to perform their favorite songs with a twist. Performers were encouraged to sing songs they wouldn't traditionally be cast for. Students' unlikely singing abilities were not the only thing being showcased last night. Colleges Against Cancer used the night to educate those in attendance about cancer and what they can do to make a difference.
And so we're bringing together people from both clubs to sort of raise awareness for cancer research and also to present people with an opportunity to just get together and have fun and sing songs that they wouldn't normally be able to sing. The idea of a miscast is that, if you're a male presenting person, you would sing a song that normally a female presenting person would, something along those lines, kind of giving people freedom to sing what they want.
To learn how to get involved with Siena's chapter of Colleges Against Cancer or Stage 3, visit their respective Saints Connect pages. After 13 years of poor enrollment, the Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Services announced they are planning to merge with Russell Sage College.
The colleges announced this merging plan yesterday morning. Albany College has seen their enrollment drop from 1,200 students to nearly 850 since 2019. A merge with Russell Sage seems to be the perfect fit as both colleges already share services and property. If the merge is approved, Russell Sage will have roughly 4,000 students, making them the third largest private college in the capital region.
It has been 5 years since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, and new polling by the Siena College Research Institute reveals the disease affected nearly 70% of New York State.
On top of that, nearly half faced some financial hardship, and 1/3 of New Yorkers lost a loved one. Despite the hardships COVID brought, 66% of the people believe that the pandemic helped them focus on family and friends. Still over half feel more isolated than ever, showing that the U.S. is not ready for the next pandemic. Still to come, SCTV's Maggie Miller sits down with Siena's Vice President of Enrollment Management, Ned Jones.
Plus, Jonathan O'Neill and Anthony Perrone bring us the latest in sports.
And here's a look at the closing numbers from Wall Street. A green day across the board with the Dow finishing up more than 400 points.
Welcome back. With National College Decision Day coming up on May 1st, it can be a tough time for students to pick through their options and land on their perfect school. Today, I'm joined by Ned Jones, who is the Vice President of Enrollment Management at Siena College. Hi, Ned. It's nice for you to join me today.
Hey, it's great to be here. It's an exciting time of year for us.
Yeah, I'm sure. So first, I just want to ask you about you. What made you want to work at admissions?
It's funny. I don't think I really ever wanted to work in admissions as much as I knew I wanted to work in higher ed. I was an RA when I was in college, and I knew I didn't want to do that. I was a terrible RA. But the educational environment seemed pretty energizing, and so after college, I just started to kind of do what everyone else does, is work your networks, and one thing led to another, and I ended up here at Siena 37 years ago.
Wow, that's amazing.
That makes me old.
Oh, no, it does not. So what does Siena do for their admissions events?
It's, it's an experience. So we understand that each student is different. Each student has their own journey. And it's really Siena's way to try to reach students on their terms. And so when we do an admissions event, we try really hard to create an event that, first of all, is fun, is enjoyable. We have fireworks. We have the cheer team sometimes. We have the pep band. But also, that's serious, where you can really take a deep dive and explore what it is that's most interesting to you academically. But we try really hard to cater it to each individual. So whether it's a one-to-one visit or 500 families, we try to make sure everyone has their thing addressed.
Yeah. So how beneficial are these events to potential incoming students?
Oh my God, they're everything. So 1 visit's good. 2 visits better. 2 visits after you've been admitted, you're in rarefied air. And believe it or not, we'll have probably 75 or 80 kids who will do 3 or more visits after they've been admitted. Wow. They're 90% enrollers. I can't figure out why they're not 100% enrollers, but the visit is everything. Because you want to feel your people. You want to get to know them. You want to talk to them. You want to meet them. You want to learn about who they are. And so you only do that on a visit.
Yeah, 100%. So what is it, how do you guys, when is your first event that you guys do for admissions?
So we actually are doing an event in the latter part of May, and it'll be a virtual event. And so during COVID, we realized, oh, we can do all these great virtual stuff and still connect with people. And guess what? Some of that stuff we still do. And then myself and the director of admissions, Katie Zolda, we do the Katie and Ned show during July. We have 2 different events we do online. We have like 500 or 800 families on each of those. Wow. And then the first really big on-campus event, we're doing daily events all the time, but the first big one is in late August, right before the students come back to school.
Wow, that's
yeah, it's a long run.
Oh yeah, 100%. And you guys then do these throughout the whole entire year,
through the whole year. Yeah, I mean, we've already had many juniors visit campus. During the month of April alone, we've had about 350 juniors on campus on tours already.
That's absolutely amazing. Yeah. So why do you think Siena is the right place for students?
Well, it's interesting. For most students, it's the right place because they want to go where they feel heard and seen. Everybody wants to feel heard and seen, and that's one of the things that Siena does so well, is this whole thing about being heard and seen.
I know.
And that's what we do.
I know. That's one of the things that I looked at when I first came here to Siena, so I'm really happy that you came on here to talk to me today. So
my pleasure. Yeah. It was a great treat for me. Thank you very much. I look forward to coming back again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ned. If you want to watch this full interview after this show, you'll be able to find it on the Siena College Communications page, YouTube page. You can also find the interview on the SCTV Instagram page at sienacollege.tv. Make sure you follow and subscribe while you're there. On the way, police have made an arrest following a homicide in Troy. Plus, New York State Police announced a new teen driver safety campaign. We'll be right back.
Troy police have made an arrest following the murder of a 47-year-old man on Monday morning.
26-year-old Juan Rivera is being charged with the second-degree murder of Kevin Hall Jr. Police say Rivera was stabbed Hall during an altercation inside of a building after a dispute over property. Police say the man was helped on the scene and taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. Rivera was released on probation less than a month ago following a conviction of second-degree assault in 2021. As the school year comes to an end, New York State Police are launching No Empty Chair. This safety campaign is a week-long traffic safety program aimed to prevent teen driving accidents.
The program started this past Monday and will run through Friday, April 25th. This week has different focuses to keep young drivers safe. Daily enforcement focuses range from speeding in school zones to texting while driving. If convicted, you may reach up to 11 points on your license for speeding and 5 points for texting while driving. Some classes here on campus offer students a unique real-world experience through lab courses.
You may have noticed the scene on campus recently. This is a mock crime scene set up by Professor Toby Kirschman. She set this lab up for her Chemistry 105 criminalistics class, where students were able to practice collecting evidence from a crime scene. Kirschman says the students love to get out for activities like this, and she wanted to send her class off with a bang.
They get giddy, and then there's also an element of panic. They start to freak out, like, oh my gosh, are we really going to do this? And they're going to really, have a hard time, but also a great time in 2 weeks when they testify about what they've done here today.
Now this lab setup was only the first part of their lab. For their final, they will go over mock testimony about their findings from the crime scene. Still to come, Siena Sports on SCTV.
Jonathan O'Neill and Anthony Perrone take us to the Dog Pound.
Yep, the NBA playoffs continue. Stay tuned to see how the first round series are shaping up.
Plus, both New York baseball teams were in action last night. All that and more, next.
Good evening, Saints, and welcome to the Dog Pound. I'm Jonathan O'Neill.
And I'm Anthony Perrone. Last night, the NBA playoffs continued as the Thunder took on the Grizzlies in Game 2 of their series, as the Thunder hoped to take a commanding 2-0 series lead. The Grizzlies and John Morant hoped to even up the series against the Thunder after a rough blowout loss in Game 1. The Thunder got out to a fast start in the first quarter as Chet Holmgren wasted no time with the 3-ball. Holmgren would help lead the way for the Thunder as he put up 20 points and helped defensively with 5 blocks, as he has also recorded a double-double in both playoff games so far. MVP candidate Shai Gilgeous-Alexander played like his usual self, putting up 27 points. The Thunder ended up cruising to another playoff win, defeating Memphis 118-99. They are now up 2-0 in the series.
After a poor performance in Game 1, the Los Angeles Lakers rebounded from their shaky start with a comfortable win over the Minnesota Timberwolves last night in Game 2. The Lakers were looking to avoid dropping back-to-back home games to start the playoffs. Luka Doncic led the way for the Lakers with 31 points and falling 1 assist short of a triple-double. Despite a second-half surge by Minnesota, LA held the Wolves to just 85 points, their lowest scoring game of the season. The Lakers led by as many as 22 points in the game and held on to win with a score of 94-85.
Let's switch over to the ice, as the NHL playoffs are in full swing and the Devils and Hurricanes battled it out in Game 2 of their series. The Hurricanes came into this game having won Game 1 and looked to build off that momentum. The Devils came out strong in the first period in the hostile road environment as Jesper Bratt scored a goal to put New Jersey ahead 1-0. Carolina would then come storming back in the second period as they would put up 2 goals unanswered, and that was all they needed as the Devils got shut out the rest of the way. The Hurricanes beat the Devils 3-1 and take a 2-0 series lead.
The 2024 NHL champion Florida Panthers started their defense of the Stanley Cup trophy in Game 1 of the playoffs against state rival Tampa Bay Lightning. Despite finishing third in the Atlantic Division, the defending champs picked up right where they left off. Sam Bennett with a tip-in to score the opening goal of the game. Panthers star Matthew Tkachuk scored 2 goals in the second period, both coming during power plays, putting the reigning champs up 5-1, a lead that they would hold on to. Panthers take Game 1 with a final score of 6-2.
Both New York baseball teams were in action last night as the Yankees took on the Guardians in Cleveland. The Yankees looked for a win as they came into the game sitting at first place in the AL East. And on the first pitch of the game, leadoff man Ben Rice would help their cause and stay hot with a home run. Fast forward to the 5th inning, Aaron Judge makes a fantastic diving catch in the outfield to save what could have caused some trouble for the Yankees. In the bottom of the 6th, with the game tied at 2, shortstop Anthony Volpe booted a ground ball which allowed the Guardians to take a 3-2 lead. That was enough for Cleveland as they would shut the Yankees down the rest of the way and win by that 3-2 score in a sloppy loss for New York.
Over in Queens, the New York Mets look to extend their winning streak to 6 games and take the series against division rival Philadelphia Phillies. On a warm and sunny day at Citi Field, the Mets took an early lead. Star Francisco Lindor singled to right in the 2nd inning to put the Mets up 2-1. Mets starter Griffin Canning gave up only 1 run in 5 innings, and a 3-run 7th inning for the Mets gave him a 4-run lead that they would not give up. Final score 5-1. The Mets will look to complete the sweep against the Phillies today. And that'll do it for us. I'm Jonathan O'Neill.
And I'm Anthony Perone. Sarah, Ashton, back to you.
Thanks, guys. Still to come, Saratoga Springs Police Department celebrated a perfect birthday last week. We'll be right back. This morning, the Siena College Research Institute released a 2025 Earth Day special survey. The survey showed that New Yorkers are deeply divided on energy policies. 46% of people believe that fossil fuel usage should be restricted even if it makes energy more expensive. On the other hand, 43% say that energy costs should be lowered even if it could cause harm to the environment. New Yorkers are becoming more aware of climate change, as 4 in 10 people think it is affecting them now, and 62% of people believe it will affect them in the future. This past Thursday, the Saratoga Springs Police Department celebrated a very special birthday. K9 Vass celebrated his 4th birthday on Thursday. If you were able to catch up with him and wish him a happy birthday, you are most likely doing something you should not have been doing. Officer Vass is handled by Officer Apur. The duo works together to sniff out drugs and track down criminals. The birthday boy was born overseas in Hungary and purchased by the Onondaga County Sheriff's Office, where he trained in patrol tactics, tracking, and narcotics detection.
Oh, that's absolutely adorable.
Yeah, it is.
I love that. I wonder if he had cake or something. I wonder how they celebrated him.
Maybe a special dog bone?
Maybe. I don't know. That'd be kind of nice. I mean, not birthday cake flavored, obviously, but maybe peanut butter flavored or something like that.
Peanut butter
Maybe some
flavored?
vanilla ice cream.
Oh,
That's a
they
good
do
one.
make dog ice cream. I know my
They do,
grandma's
yeah.
dog has dog ice cream all of the time, so.
And that will do it for SCTV Live at 7.
Follow us on Instagram at sienacollege.tv, or you can find us here on the Siena College Communications Program YouTube page.
Have a great night.